Rahul may never forget the day he shifted from indoor. It was July. The rain did not stop. The house agreement was over. The landlord would call every day and say, "You're a shameless man. When will you vacate my house?" The situation became such that the landlord was ready to throw all the belongings of Rahul and his friend out of the house. It was Sunday. A broker promised to arrange a new rented house for Rahul and his friend Ravi. Rahul and Ravi shifted to Gurgaon in Mumbai. Then around 5 in the evening, the landlord phoned and said, "Brother Rahul, the new renter is standing in front of the door. Please open the door." Then Rahul says, "I am no longer in Indore. I have shifted to Gurgaon. You can open your house. You have the key, haven't you?" Then the call was cut. Ravi was humming and singing. Then he comes to Rahul and says, "Brother Rahul, this flat is fine. But in this corner, where the dustbin is, I think there is something wrong." Then Rahul asked, "What's wrong?" Ravi replied, "Brother Rahul, it looks haunted." Then Rahul says, "Ravi, you are talking like crazy. In a city like Mumbai, you are talking about ghosts." As soon as he said this, Rahul's phone rang. Rahul hung up the phone after talking. Then Ravi asked, "What happened? Did Abhishek call?" Then Rahul says, "Yes." Then Ravi says, "What did Abhishek say?" Then Rahul tells him he is throwing a party for shifting to a new room. "So I'm leaving now. You stay here, make something and eat. Then relax. I will eat out and I will come tomorrow morning." Then Ravi says, "Okay, no problem." Then Rahul said bye and left the room. Ravi closes the door of the house and he started painting. He was drawing, and just then it seemed to him that someone was making noise inside the room. It looked like a woman was washing clothes. Ravi notices well but says nothing. So he went to do his work. It was about 11:30 at night. Ravi seemed to have something unfinished. As he drew the picture, he forgot that he had not eaten yet. Then he remembered he did not make food today. So he goes to the kitchen. He started making something to eat, and just then a scream came from the flats next door. Ravi thought it would be the voice of a child, so he did not pay much attention to the screams. Then he began to think that a woman was sitting next to the room of his flat and crying. Ravi started walking towards the room in fear. He opened the door of the room and turned on the light. He saw a large shadow of a woman in front of his eyes and ran away. He then went up the stairs to the ground floor. He called Rahul and said, "Brother Rahul, there are ghosts in this new flat. There is a woman." Rahul replies, "Ravi, shut up. I think I am drinking, but you are drunk." Just then, his friend who was drinking with Rahul said, "What happened? Who called Rahul?" Rahul then says, "Hey, Ravi has called. He is saying that there are ghosts in the new flat." Then Rahul's friend picked up the phone and said to Ravi, "Brother, you are in Mumbai, not in Jabalpur. Even you have come to such a place where the ghost soul trembles. Don't worry, come to us." Then Ravi says, "Where can I get a taxi late at night?" Then Rahul's friend Abhishek says, "You do one thing. You go to sleep wrapped in a sheet. You also drink 2 packs. You will not have any tension." Then Rahul snatched the phone from his hand and said, "You shut up." Then he says to Ravi, "Don't be afraid. I'm always with you. Go and lie down comfortably. Have you eaten or haven't you eaten yet?" Ravi says, "No, I have not eaten yet." Then Rahul says, "Then eat something. As you are on empty stomach, it is normal to have such thoughts in your head. See you tomorrow. Good night. Take care of yourself." Ravi then sits in the society's garden without going to the room. Then the watchman came and said, "What is the matter, sir? Are you new here? Are not you sleeping? The weather is bad. It looks like it's going to rain." Then Ravi says, "Yes, I have shifted here today. Tell me something. Who is shouting at flat number 203? Then watchman says, "Sir, I started working here last week. I did not hear anyone screaming. Are you scared to see ghosts, sir? Do you believe in superstitions, even after being so educated in Mumbai? Come on, I will take you to your flat." Then Ravi says, No, I'm not going to my apartment. I will just stay here. Then the watchman says, As your wish, sir. After that, he blew his whistle and left, and Ravi lays there. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, due to light drizzle, almost all of the Ravi's clothes got wet. He was lying there, and then he saw Rahul in front of his eyes. Rahul tells him, Get up, Ravi. Have you been lying here all night? How scared you are. Let's go to the flat. Then both of them moved into the flat. The two went to the flat and saw the sound of water coming out of the bathroom tap. Rahul went to the bathroom and checked that the tap was not opened. Then he began to think this sound may be coming from the flat next door. Ravi and Rahul got ready and went to work. It was about 8 o'clock at night. Rahul had already returned from office. Rahul went to the door of the flat and checked his wallet, but the key of the flat is not in it. He calls Ravi. Brother, where are you? I left the key inside the flat today. When will you come back? Then Ravi says, It will be about 10 o'clock for me to come. Then Rahul says, Okay, let's see if any arrangements can be made. Then Rahul goes to Watchman and tells him everything. Watchman brings a ladder. Their flat was on the first floor, so the windows of their flat could easily be reached by ladder. Watchman then climbed by the ladder. He tried in vain to open the window. By the dim light of the garden, Watchman was shocked to see that what could be seen through the window inside the flat. Then Rahul asked, What happened? Watchman says nervously, There are ghosts here. Sir, there is a jinn in this flat. Then he fell down from the ladder. It was as if an unknown shadow had pushed him away. He says, Sir, leave this flat. There are ghosts here. There is a supernatural power here. Rahul asked him, Watchman, tell me, what really happened? Then the watchman said, That ghost pushed me, and that is why I fell down. Luckily for me, the soil was soft, so nothing happened to me. Otherwise, my arms and legs would have broken today. Then taking the ladder in his hand, watchman ran away from there. Then Rahul's friend Abhishek called him. Rahul told him everything. Then Abhishek said, Don't worry, today I will arrange a party in your flat. Then he brings Aman and Nitin with him. Within this time, Ravi had also reached there. Rahul forbids everyone not to tell anything about this incident to Ravi. They had arranged a beer party. There were 5 members. The ordered food had also reached to them from a hotel. They planned to play cards overnight. Then Ravi says, I have to sleep. I have to go to the office tomorrow morning. Then Rahul says, No problem, you go to your bed. We will go to bed in an hour. Ravi went to another room and lay down. 2 or 3 times the sheet fell from his body. However, he was so fast asleep that he repeatedly pulled the sheet and fell asleep. Meanwhile, Rahul, Nitin, Aman and Abhishek were so engrossed in playing cards that they had no idea about time. Then Nitin went to the bathroom and came back. He started playing cards again. Suddenly the sound of water falling from the bathroom can be heard. Abhishek says, Nitin, I think you have come to turn on the tap. Aman, you go and turn off the tap. Aman says, I can't go. Then Abhishek says, None of you have to go. I will go to the bathroom. It was about 2 o'clock at night. Abhishek looked at his watch and said to Rahul, Where is your ghost? You are fooling us. There were no ghosts here. Then he enters the bathroom. When he started urinating, the shadow of a terrible woman came and stood in front of him. Abhishek screamed in a very terrible way. Hearing Abhishek's scream, everyone pushed and opened the bathroom's door. Meanwhile, Ravi woke up hearing Abhishek's scream. When he opened his eyes, he saw something unimaginable. A shadow with big teeth and nails was seen sailing above. He seemed to be thirsty for blood for several generations. As soon as he jumped on Ravi, Ravi shouted. When everyone reached near Ravi, Ravi told them, Brother, there is a ghost here. There is a woman or a ghost on the ceiling. Then Abhishek also said, Brother, there is a problem in this flat. We should leave this flat right now. Then everyone left that flat that night hurriedly. The next day, Rahul and Ravi go to Samir, the broker, to get another flat, and they tell Samir about the ghost of this flat. Samir then says, There is nothing like that. You are fooling me. People used to live here before. There lived many people in that flat, Rahul then says. We want our deposit back, otherwise we will complain to the police. Samir becomes a little scared, so he prepares to return the deposit. Then the five friends take everything out from the flat. Abhishek said, "Till this day I have never seen such a terrible shadow." Then Rahul said, "You had a lot of fun listening to me and Ravi. Now you can understand. There is something called ghosts and spirits." Then the five of them started laughing, and then the door of the next flat was opened. An old woman about 100 years old came out through the door. She then said, "What happened, son? Are you also leaving the flat out of fear? You can't stay in flat number 203. This fairy will never leave anyone. She will kill everyone." Abhishek gathers courage and says, "Fairy? Who are you talking about? What happened in this flat?" Then the old woman says, "Say it softly, she will hear. She is a terrible fairy. She does not let anyone stay in this flat. She does not let the boys stay here. She has killed many boys. Many have fled. Get out of here. This will be good for you." Then the old woman disappeared. Seeing this, those five friends, leaving their belongings, immediately fled from there. It was later revealed that there was a fairy who had been living in this flat for many years.